Tiny. So last time we were reading about how Katie got her hair all messed up by Suzanne. So not okay. And how she went to school and she was thinking about kites and how she was so excited to talk about kites with Mr. G, remember? So she put all thoughts of her hair out of her mind, and that's where we are right now. I think we need more than one tail, she overheard Jeremy saying as she walked over to where he and Manny were standing. That will keep the kites more stable when it's flying. Hi, guys, Katie greeted the boys cheerfully. Manny frowned when he saw Katie. Hey, did you hear what Jeremy and I were talking about? He demanded. About what? Katie wondered. About our kite, Manny said. I'm not sure, said Katie. I think you said something about its tail? Oh, great, said Manny. Now the enemy will find out. Oh, no, not the enemy. What enemy? Katie asked. George, Kadeem, and Kevin, Jeremy said. I bet you're on their side, said Manny. Why would I be on their side? Katie asked. Because they're in your class, said Manny. I don't want to choose a side, she said, and she meant it. After all, George, Kadeem, and Kevin were in Katie's class, but she and Jeremy had been friends since they were babies. You have to, Manny told her. If you're not with us, then you're against us. Katie sighed. This kite-flying thing had turned into more than just a friendly competition. It was a major kite fight, and she didn't want anything to do with it. Things got worse after lunch. When the kids in the beginning of the band went to rehearsal, Katie sat down in her assigned seat, third chair from the left of Emma W. A moment later, Jeremy came into the room. Katie smiled at him, but he pretended not to even see her. He sat down behind his drums without saying a word. Then Becky came into the room. She had her big French horn with her. Hi, Jeremy, she cooed as she took her place in the third row. Hi, Becky, Jeremy replied. Now that was weird. Talking to Becky, but not talking to Katie? Did Jeremy consider Katie the enemy now? Before Katie could ask him, George and Kevin strolled into the band room together. George sat down at the keyboards. Kevin took his assigned seat on the left side of the room. Hi, Katie Kazoo, George greeted her. Ready to play Go Tell Aunt Rhody? Definitely, Katie told him. I practiced it all last night. I practiced too, Kevin said. You guys are going to sound great, Mr. Starkey assured them. Kadeem and Mandy walked into the band room at almost the same time as Mr. Starkey. Kadeem sat down in his seat in the back row, and Manny plopped down in the chair next to Kevin. Kevin leaped out of his chair. What's the matter? Mr. Starkey asked Kevin. I don't want to sit near Manny anymore, said Kevin. You have to sit next to him. You both play the trumpet. The trumpets sit together in one section, Mr. Starkey told Kevin. Can't I sit next to Kadeem? Kevin asked. He's on the same team as I am, the Class 4A kite-flying team. I'll sit next to you, Kevin, Emma W. said. I'm on Class 4A's team, too. Everyone stay right where you are, Mr. Starkey told them. There are no teams in the music room. Music sounds best when we all work together. Just then Suzanne appeared in the doorway. Yikes. She was holding another fashion magazine, with her fingers stuck in between the pages. What are you doing here? Kadeem asked. You're not in the band. I know, Suzanne said. I just stopped by to show Katie a new hairstyle. We're both getting our hair cut on Saturday morning. Saturday is 3 days away, George reminded Suzanne. Suzanne, please leave at once. We are trying to have a rehearsal here, Mr. Starkey reminded her. Sorry, Suzanne said, although she didn't really sound sorry. These appointments are very, very important. Sparkle is only fitting Katie in as a favor to me. Katie didn't really believe that. After all, Sparkle's salon was brand new. Sparkle needed as many customers as she could get. But Katie didn't say that to Suzanne. She didn't want to embarrass her in front of everyone. So instead she said, I'll see you later, Suzanne. Great, said Suzanne. I'll meet you after school. Have some awesome pictures for you to look at. Have you ever considered getting a mohawk? Katie didn't even know how to answer that one. As Suzanne left the band room, Katie tried to concentrate on the song she was about to play, but it was hard to think about Camptown races when everyone else was fighting. If the kids in the beginning band didn't start to work together, they were going to sound terrible at the concert, and how embarrassing would that be? Katie frowned. This was no good. And things didn't get any better by the week. At the end of the week, by Friday, the fighting in the 4th grade was totally out of control. No one in Class 4A was speaking to anyone in Class 4B. Well, except for Suzanne. She was still talking to Katie. Or rather, she was telling Katie what to do. Constantly. I don't think you should wear your hair super straight. It would be too much work to straighten it every day. I'm just going to ask Sparkle what she thinks I should do, Katie said. After all, she's the professional. Suzanne's face turned all red and angry. I'm a professional. I've modeled 3 times. But those were recitals for your modeling class, Katie reminded her. I told you. Ah! Do you see this? Do you see this? It's too big, huh? It keeps falling on my head. Alright. After all, let's see. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Those were recitals for your modeling class. I told you they're not recitals. They're called runway shows, Suzanne insisted. Katie rolled her eyes and sighed. Is it the George, Kevin, and Kadeem? Suzanne pointed out. What are they doing here? They don't need haircuts. There are a lot of stores in the mall, Suzanne, Katie reminded her friend. I guess, Suzanne agreed. I'm just focused on our haircuts. I can't think about anything else. That made Katie laugh. What a Suzanne thing to say. Hi, Katie Kazoo, George greeted her. A moment later, he didn't say anything to Suzanne. After all, she was in Class 4B. The enemy. You guys have been doing a lot of shopping, Katie said, pointing to the 3 huge bags that they were carrying. We're buying supplies for, Kevin began, but Kadeem poked him in the side and pointed to Suzanne. We're just buying stuff, Kevin murmured. We're off to get haircuts, Suzanne told the boys, but we're already late. With that, we'll leave it alone for now. I hope you enjoyed your story for tonight, baby girl. I love you so much. Always, you know that. Sweet dreams, baby girl.